Hey everybody, welcome back. Bill De La Cruz here with you on the Origination Point podcast. So glad you have subscribed and are getting access to all of our new podcasts. So, for those of you who have listened to me for a while, you know that I talk a lot about the craziness of the world, the country, the communities we live in, all of the challenges that we face, and how to become more adaptable and adept at working through the things that are happening today on our planet and in our country and in our communities. I'm constantly thinking about how do we approach this? How do we live and move through something like a divided planet that is at war with each other and bombing each other and hurting each other and and supporting people being killed on a variety of levels, both in the world and in our country, and this ability or willingness to just get sucked into like-minded ideas and approaches about things by connecting on the internet to people who think just like us. And so what I see more and more is that when we have a thought, we put it out there in the world, mostly through the internet, and then it gets channeled to other people who think exactly the same thing. So there's nobody in that case who is saying, wait a minute, why do you think that way? Wait a minute, why are we celebrating the fact that someone got murdered? I mean, this latest thing with healthcare, it's a really important issue. Healthcare is out of control in our country. And yet, turning someone who shot somebody in healthcare into a hero and demonizing the person who was killed, it's a pretty interesting mindset when I think about it. And I wonder where we're headed with this type of a mindset. Does that mean now that as we see somebody being taken out for whatever reason, that we celebrate the person who took that person out and find a way to say that person deserved it? I'm not sure if I'm ready to own that mindset myself, because to me, it sounds like from that perspective, I'm no better than the person who did the damage. And that's certainly just my perspective. And so I don't think that's a solution to where we are. I think it's the way that we create more havoc in the world and more dehumanization and more disconnection between who we are and how we see ourselves is however you define a civil community or a respectful community or a community that values multiple perspectives. Because there are a lot of issues that are happening right now that I don't like, that I have no control over. And if I just went out and harmed or killed everyone who I didn't agree with, that would be a really challenging space to live in for any one of us. And so I'm really encouraging you to think about the mindset that you're bringing into the world today, and whether it's dividing us more or whether it's creating connections more. So as I think about what do we do, I have no control over how people approach life. And I also have no control over how people choose to respond or react to something in their life. And we see the extremes of behavior every single day now. And we could say it's somebody else, or we can blame somebody else. And the reality is that many people are getting sucked into this dynamic of, if we don't agree with somebody, just take them out in a variety of ways. It started with cancel culture, and now we're up to killing each other. And so where does it stop? So I want to offer you something to think about. And I know some of you won't accept this because it doesn't play out in the narrative that you want to have in life or the victimness that you want to feel. I don't want to be a victim and I don't want to live in a false narrative. So, what I am proposing is this idea of a mindset revolution. And I wrote an article that'll be on a blog on our website, and I want to share it with you to hear what you think. And I hope it doesn't drive people to the extremes that you seek me out and want to do harm to me because I have a perspective that may not match yours. And I think that's the risk in putting things out into the world today, which is why more people are probably not talking or sharing divergent viewpoints. Nonetheless, I'm going to share mine. It's called Embracing a Mindset Revolution, and I'm just going to read it and then see where we land. Embracing a Mindset Revolution, Finding Connection in a Divided World. In our ever-polarized and rapidly changing world, Maya Angelou's timeless wisdom feels more relevant than ever. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. This poignant call to action challenges us to recognize the limits of control and embrace the transformative. So the title of what I want to share with you is called Embracing a Mindset Revolution, Finding Connection in a Divided World. In our ever-polarized and rapidly changing world, Maya Angelou's timeless wisdom feels more relevant than ever. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. This poignant call to action challenges us to recognize the limits of control and embrace the transformative power of perspective. Amid the complexities of today's global conflicts, economic inequities, and social divides, it's clear that many of the circumstances we face are beyond our immediate control. What remains firmly within our grasp, however, is our mindset. This is where the idea of a mindset revolution becomes not just important, but essential. To navigate the unchangeable realities of our time, we must transform how we think, perceive, and respond not only to the world around us and to each other. The limits of control in a divided world. The world today is fraught with challenges: climate change, political polarization, systemic injustice, and more that often feel insurmountable. These are the kinds of problems that defy quick fixes or simple solutions. Yet in our frustration with these obstacles, we often waste energy railing against the unchangeable, sinking deeper into feelings of helplessness and division. This futile cycle blinds us to a crucial truth. While we may not be able to control external forces, we can control how we think about and respond to them. This shift in perspective does not mean surrendering to injustice or inaction. Instead, it empowers us to reframe challenges in ways that foster resilience, compassion, and connection. The Mindset Revolution, a call to action. A mindset revolution begins with a commitment to rewire our thinking. It's about choosing curiosity over judgment, empathy over indifference, and adaptability over resistance. By adopting these shifts, we cultivate the capacity to accept what cannot be changed while also transforming how we engage with others and the world. Here's why this revolution is crucial for fostering connection and belonging. Reframing difference as a strength. In a world brimming with diverse perspectives and experiences, differences often become sources of division. A mindset revolution encourages us to see these differences not as threats, but as opportunities for growth and learning. When we approach others with openness, we create spaces for genuine dialogue and understanding. Letting go of perfectionism. Many of us carry an inherent belief that our lives or the world must adhere to an ideal vision. This mindset breeds frustration and discontent when reality doesn't measure up. By embracing imperfection, we free ourselves to appreciate the beauty of the present and the progress we can make, however incremental. Building resilience through acceptance. Acceptance is not passive resignation. It is an active process of finding peace within challenging realities. When we accept what cannot be changed, we redirect our energy towards what can be influenced, our attitudes, actions, and relationships. Connection and belonging through shifting perspective. At its core, a mindset revolution is about fostering connection and belonging in a world that often feels disconnected. When we focus on changing our attitudes rather than external circumstances, we start to see the humanity in others, even those with whom we disagree. This shift enables us to bridge divides, create shared spaces of trust, and collaborate on building a more equitable and compassionate future. Imagine what could happen if more of us adopted this revolutionary way of thinking. Families fractured by disagreements could find common ground. Communities divided by political ideologies could work toward shared goals. Entire nations could begin to see themselves not as isolated entities, but as interdependent parts of a greater whole. As individuals, we may feel insignificant in the face of the world's problems, but the beauty of a mindset revolution lies in its ripple effect. When one person continues to adopt a growth-oriented, accepting attitude, it inspires others to do the same. Slowly but surely, this revolution grows from individuals to communities and eventually to entire societies. In the end, changing our attitudes is not about surrendering. The ripple effect of change. As individuals, we may feel insignificant in the face of the world's problems, but the beauty of a mindset revolution lies in its ripple effect. When one person chooses to adopt a growth-oriented, accepting attitude, it inspires others to do the same. Slowly but surely, this revolution grows from individuals to communities and eventually to entire societies. In the end, changing our attitudes is not about surrendering to the world's flaws, but about reclaiming our power to live joyfully and meaningfully despite them. It's about cultivating a collective sense of belonging that transcends the divisions of race, class, nationality, and politics. The time for a mindset revolution is now. Begin by asking yourself, what attitudes or beliefs can I change to foster more connection and belonging in my life? How can I shift my focus from what divides us to what unites us? As we embark on this journey together, let us remember Maya Angelou's words. While we cannot change everything, we have the power to change ourselves, and in doing so, we may find that the world too begins to change. As you've heard these words, I want you to sit with what is coming up for you right now. What are you thinking about? What do you think your role is in this mindset revolution in shifting how you see the world? Because I can't change everything that I don't like in the world today, in my communities today. I can't make people be kind to each other or to communicate with each other, even though that's my greatest hope. So all I can do is shift my mindset. And my hope is that if I can become more belonging and accepting, and remember, accepting doesn't mean giving up. Accepting is about sitting in what's real in this particular moment, and then thinking about what are my next steps. So I'm not going to spend my time thinking about how do I change you or how do I make you think differently. That's futile because I have no power over anyone else. So if you are feeling, I don't know, I don't even know how to say this. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling despair, if you're feeling like there's no hope, then I'm going to encourage you to think about how do you shift your mindset. And if you want some support with that, reach out. We have a whole program called Flipping Failure, a blueprint for personal growth, which is really rooted in how do you take a limiting narrative and shift it into a belief and growth oriented narrative. And it's not an easy process. It's something I have to think about every day as I step in to a community group to facilitate a conversation, as I interact with the variety of people that I do every day. And so I wanted to share this because I am going to start a mindset revolution. So for those of you who are encouraged by this and want to be a part of this, go to my website, delacruzleadershipsolutions.com, contact us, and for the first 50 people, I will give you a free e-copy of my book, Flipping Failure, which is really about shifting our mindsets. It's a workbook, 8 chapters, and I feel like it could be a very beneficial start to those of you who want to be first adopters of this mindset revolution and are ready to shift what's up here so that you can be more at peace out here. So if this message, if this approach resonates with you, please share it, please subscribe, and let's start a revolution that actually connects us. Let's start right here in our mindset. And I am hopeful that some of you will grasp onto this and see the value of it. And I'm just hopeful that together we can shift this trajectory that we're all on in our planet, our country, and our communities. So remember to give yourself grace, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and most importantly, keep growing. Take care.